There is a saying in the Shaolin Temple, if you control your mind, you control your life. If your mind controls you, you become its prisoner. Every day when you wake up, your mind is the first battlefield you step onto. Before you face the world, before you speak to another person, before you take your first step out of bed, the real fight begins in your own head. This is why the first thing you must improve every single day is your mind. Your mind is the root of every choice, every habit, every victory, and every defeat. And yet most people treat it carelessly. They feed it with noise. They allow it to be polluted with fear, doubt, gossip, and distraction. They guard their possessions more fiercely than they guard their thoughts. But a wise person knows your mind is your greatest weapon and also your greatest weakness, depending on how you train it. Your mind is not a fixed object. It is like water. It takes the shape of the container you put it in. If the container is small, your mind will remain limited. If the container is dirty, your mind will absorb the dirt. But if you place it in a vast, clean space, it will expand, it will clear, it will reflect truth. Successful warriors, leaders, and thinkers do not leave their minds unattended. They train it every day. Not once a month, not only when it is convenient. Think about your body. If you do not move it, if you do not feed it well, it grows weak and sick. The mind is no different. If you do not challenge it, it becomes slow. If you feed it only junk information, it becomes unhealthy. If you allow it to run wild, it becomes restless, anxious, unfocused. A neglected mind is like an untrained horse. It will throw you in the wrong direction. But a trained mind is like a skilled archer's bow. It will hit exactly where you aim. Your mind is like a garden. Every piece of information, every conversation, every image, every sound is a seed. Some seeds grow into flowers of courage, discipline, and clarity. Others grow into weeds of fear, anger, and laziness. Every day you must ask yourself, what seeds am I planting? Most people think they are in control of their thoughts, but in truth they are simply repeating what the world has poured into them. News headlines, social media noise, toxic conversations, these are the weeds stealing your energy. To improve your mind, you must set a boundary. Limit the noise. Protect your focus. Speak less with those who drain you, and more with those who inspire you. Be intentional about what you read, watch, and listen to. Once you protect your mind from the weeds, you must plant something worth growing. Read something that challenges your thinking every day. Listen to those who have walked the path before you. Study the lives of great men and women. Wisdom is not an accident. It is the result of daily intentional feeding of the mind. Shaolin monks spend hours in meditation, scripture reading and reflection, not because they have nothing else to do, but because they know the quality of their mind determines the quality of their life. Even 10 minutes of focused study a day, over years, will make your mind sharper than the majority of the world. The modern mind is restless. It jumps from thought to thought, task to task, notification to notification. But a sharp mind is a focused mind. Each day, give your mind something difficult to concentrate on, without distraction. This could be solving a problem, practicing a skill, or simply sitting in stillness, focusing only on your breath. The more you train your mind to focus on one thing deeply, the stronger and calmer it becomes. Your greatest enemy is not ignorance, but distraction. The world will try to steal your attention. It will try to fill your head with meaningless noise so you forget the power you carry. A distracted mind is weak. It cannot see opportunity. It cannot resist temptation. It cannot hold a vision long enough to make it real. Every day you must reclaim your mind from the grip of distraction. There is a simple practice I will share with you. It will take you only 20 minutes, yet over time, it will change the way you think. In the morning, sit in silence for 5 minutes, breathe slowly. Let the first thoughts of your day be calm and intentional, not reactive. In the middle of the day, spend 5 minutes reading something that feeds your mind with truth, not noise. In the evening, spend 10 minutes reflecting on your day. Ask yourself, what did I learn today? How did I grow? what will I do better tomorrow? Do this every day, and your mind will grow sharper, calmer, and stronger. When you improve your mind daily, you begin to notice something. You become harder to disturb. You become quicker to learn. You become wiser in your choices. Problems that used to overwhelm you will feel smaller. Goals that once felt impossible will feel within reach. Your mind will no longer be a cage. It will be the key. In the temple, we say, before you conquer the world, conquer your mind. Because when your mind is disciplined, your body will follow, your habits will follow, your destiny will follow. So do not end a single day without having trained your mind. If you do, you are leaving your greatest weapon to grow dull. But if you sharpen it daily, there will be no challenge too great for you to overcome. The mind is a tool, and like any tool, it can be sharpened or allowed to rust. Many people believe their thoughts are an unchangeable part of who they are, a constant stream they must simply endure. This is a profound misunderstanding. The mind is not a permanent fixture, it is a landscape you must cultivate every day. Just as a farmer tends his fields, pulling weeds and planting seeds, you must tend to your mind. The weeds are distraction, negativity, and idleness. The seeds are focus, curiosity, and knowledge. Improving your mind starts with what we call daily mental training. For a monk, this is meditation. For you, it could be a simple, dedicated practice of stillness. Sit for 5 minutes. Close your eyes. Notice your breath. Do not try to stop your thoughts. That is a fight you will lose. Instead, observe them, see them as clouds passing in the sky of your awareness. Do not get on the cloud and fly away with it. Simply watch it pass. This practice, performed consistently, builds the muscle of awareness. It teaches you that you are not your thoughts. You are the one who notices them. This is the first step in taking control. Beyond stillness, you must dedicate a portion of each day to focused learning. The world is an endless library of knowledge, and yet so many people stop being students after school is over. They become consumers of entertainment, but not producers of new understanding. Read a book, not just for pleasure, but with the intention to learn something new. Listen to a podcast that challenges your assumptions. Watch a documentary that expands your perspective. This is not about passive consumption. It is about active engagement. When you read, question what you are reading. When you listen, reflect on how the information can be applied to your life. This process of intentional learning keeps your mind agile, curious, and resilient. It prevents the stagnation that leads to a closed mind. The greatest threat to the modern mind is distraction. We are constantly bombarded with notifications, alerts, and endless streams of information that are designed to capture our attention. Our focus, once a powerful laser, has been fractured into 1,000 tiny beams. Improving your mind means reclaiming this focus. This requires deliberate action. Turn off the notifications on your phone. Dedicate specific blocks of time to deep work, where you eliminate all potential distractions. Practice single tasking instead of multitasking. When you are working on a project, only work on that project. When you are speaking to a person, only speak to that person. This is not about being anti-technology, it is about being pro-focus. It is about recognizing that your attention is your most valuable asset, and it is a finite resource that must be guarded fiercely. Improving your mind also means challenging your biases and beliefs. The human mind seeks comfort and predictability. It creates mental models of the world and then fiercely defends them even in the face of contradictory evidence. This is the source of stubbornness, of prejudice, and of missed opportunities. Every day you must ask yourself, what if I am wrong? Seek out opposing viewpoints. Have conversations with people who see the world differently from you, not with the intention to change their mind, but with the intention to understand their perspective. This practice of intellectual humility is the ultimate form of mental training. It keeps your mind flexible and open like the joints of a martial artist, always ready to adapt to a new challenge. The mind that is willing to be wrong is the mind that is truly capable of learning. Finally, daily mental training involves creativity and problem solving. Your mind is not just a storage unit for information, it is a factory for new ideas. Engage in creative pursuits. Write, draw, play an instrument. These activities force your mind to forge new connections and think in novel ways. When faced with a problem, do not immediately seek a quick answer. Instead, take the time to deeply analyze the situation from multiple angles. Break it down. Consider unconventional solutions. This deliberate practice of problem solving strengthens your mind's capacity for innovation. The greatest innovations do not come from those who know the most. Discipline is the bridge between the life you have and the life you want. Many people dream, many people wish, but few are willing to walk that bridge every single day. Without discipline, dreams remain only dreams. Without discipline, knowledge remains only theory. Without discipline, your potential dies quietly, not because it was impossible, but because you did not have the strength to keep going when it became difficult. Every day you must improve your discipline, because the moment you stop, you begin to slide back into comfort, and comfort is where growth goes to sleep. In the Shaolin Temple, discipline is not a punishment, it is a form of love. It is the love you give to yourself when you choose what you need over what you want in the moment. It is the love you give to your future self by refusing to betray them for short-term pleasure. The world teaches you to chase comfort, but the Shaolin way teaches you to embrace the challenge, because challenge shapes you, discipline sharpens you, and discomfort is the doorway to growth. Most people wait for motivation before they act. They tell themselves they will start when they feel ready. But motivation is like the wind. It comes and goes without warning. Discipline is like the earth, solid, steady, unshaken by mood or weather. If you live only by motivation, your progress will be inconsistent. If you live by discipline, your progress will be inevitable. Discipline is not about how you feel, it is about what you do, regardless of how you feel. To improve discipline, you must train it like a muscle. You cannot lift a heavy weight on the first day, and you cannot expect to have unshakable discipline overnight. You begin small. You set a clear rule for yourself, and you keep it without exception. Wake up at the time you said you would. Finish the task you said you would complete. Keep the promise you made to yourself, even when no one else will know if you fail. This is how discipline is born, not in big moments of glory, but in the small, quiet decisions you make when nobody is watching. Discipline is not about punishing yourself, it is about protecting yourself from your own weakness. You already know the things that waste your time, the habits that pull you down, the excuses that stop you from acting. Every day, discipline means you take away their power over you. You control your impulses. Instead of letting them control you, you create structure in your day, not because you love rules, but because you love freedom, and the only path to true freedom is through self-control. Many people confuse discipline with perfection. They think if they miss one day, they have failed. This is not true. Discipline is about returning to the path, no matter how many times you are distracted. It is about deciding again and again and again that you will not give up. In Shaolin training, we repeat movements thousands of times. Not because we enjoy the repetition, but because each repetition strengthens both body and will. The mind resists at first. It seeks novelty, it becomes restless. But the longer you stay, the quieter the resistance becomes, until what was once difficult becomes your nature. A disciplined person understands that time is precious. They do not waste hours on meaningless distractions. They do not allow emotions to dictate every action. They have learned to delay gratification. They know the difference between what feels good now and what is good for them in the long run. They understand that doing the hard thing today will make tomorrow easier, while doing the easy thing today will make tomorrow harder. If you wish to improve your discipline daily, set yourself a challenge every morning. Make it something you do not want to do, but know you must. It can be physical, training your body even when you are tired. It can be mental, focusing deeply on a task without checking your phone. It can be emotional, remaining calm when someone tries to provoke you. These small victories each day build a foundation of steel, and soon you will notice what others call difficult will feel natural to you. There will be days when you want to quit, days when the voice in your mind says, just take a break, it doesn't matter. That is the moment when discipline matters most. Because discipline is not tested when it is easy, it is tested when you are tired, when you are discouraged, when you are alone. If you can stand firm in those moments, there is nothing in life you cannot endure. You must also understand that discipline is contagious. The more you practice it in one area of your life, the more it spreads to others. If you train your body with discipline, your mind will follow. If you keep your words with discipline, your relationships will grow. If you manage your time with discipline, your opportunities will multiply. Discipline in one thing becomes discipline in all things. In the temple, there is no shortcut to mastery. There is only daily practice. We rise early. We train, we meditate, we work, we serve. Not once in a while, but every day. Some days it feels easy. Some days it feels impossible, but we do it anyway. This is the essence of discipline. Not feeling ready, but being ready, because you trained yourself to act without waiting for permission from your feelings. When you improve your discipline every day, you are building an unbreakable character. You are teaching yourself that you can trust yourself, and that trust is the root of confidence. People think confidence comes from success, but in truth, confidence comes from keeping your own word. When you say you will do something and you follow through, you grow in strength. When you say you will do something and fail to act, you weaken yourself. Remember this. Life will not always give you what you expect, but discipline will always give you what you deserve. If you train daily, if you show up every time, if you refuse to betray yourself, the results will come, maybe slowly, maybe unexpectedly, but they will come. Because the world always bows to those who outlast their doubts. So each morning decide who is in control, you or your impulses. Each evening look back and ask yourself if you kept your word to yourself. Improve your discipline, not by thinking about it, but by practicing it again and again. And when others ask how you became so strong, so focused, so unshakable, you will know the answer. You did not wait for the perfect time. You did not surrender to comfort. You simply walked the bridge every single day until you reached the other side. Discipline is not a punishment. It is not a burden. It is the highest form of freedom. The undisciplined person is a slave to their impulses, their fleeting desires, and the whims of their mood. They want to wake up early, but their body tells them to stay in bed. They want to eat healthily, but their cravings for sugar are too strong. They want to be great, but their laziness and procrastination whisper of a different path. Their life is not their own. It is dictated by the loudest and most immediate feeling. The disciplined person, however, has achieved a different state. They have freedom from these internal tyrants. They are the master of their own will. They do not do what they feel like doing. They do what they must do to achieve their goals. This is the essence of self-control. It is the ability to choose your long-term vision over your short-term satisfaction. This is not a one-time decision. It is a muscle that must be exercised every single day. Every time you choose to go to the gym when you feel tired, you strengthen this muscle. Every time you choose to read a book instead of scrolling on your phone, you strengthen it. Every small act of self-control is a victory that compounds over time. The most important component of discipline is consistency. A single heroic effort is impressive, but it is ultimately meaningless if it is not followed by more efforts. The person who works out for 3 hours one day and then does nothing for a month will achieve nothing. The person who works out for 20 minutes every single day will build an unshakable foundation of strength. This principle applies to everything. Want to become a great writer? Write for 30 minutes every day. Want to learn a new skill? Practice it for 15 minutes every day. It is the relentless accumulation of small, consistent actions that leads to monumental results. Do not seek to be perfect. Seek to be consistent. The pursuit of perfection leads to paralysis, but the commitment to consistency leads to progress. Discipline is also about habit mastery. Our lives are not a series of conscious decisions, they are primarily a collection of habits. We wake up, we follow a morning routine, we do our work in a certain way, we unwind in a predictable pattern. If your habits are not serving your goals, then you are a passenger in your own life. Improving your discipline means taking an inventory of your habits and intentionally replacing the negative ones with positive ones. Start small. Do not try to change everything at once. Pick one habit you want to cultivate and focus on it for 30 days. For example, if you want to be more focused, dedicate the first 15 minutes of your morning to a single important task without any distractions. Make it so easy to succeed that failure is almost impossible. Then, once that habit is ingrained, move on to the next. A disciplined life is a structured life. It is not about living without joy. It is about creating a framework within which your joy can flourish. When your day is structured around purposeful habits, you free up mental energy that would otherwise be spent on making countless small decisions. When you know you will meditate at 6 a.m. and work out at 7 a.m., you don't have to debate with yourself. The decision has already been made. This reduces decision fatigue and allows you to use your willpower for more important choices throughout the day. It is a system of automated excellence. Finally, understand that discipline is not a state you arrive at. It is a lifelong practice. There will be days when you feel unmotivated. There will be moments when your old negative habits try to reassert themselves. This is normal. The key is not to succumb to self-judgment and shame. Acknowledge the lapse, but do not let it define you. A moment of weakness does not negate a lifetime of strength. The disciplined person is not the one who never fails, but the one who always gets back up. They forgive themselves for a momentary slip and return to their chosen path with renewed resolve. This is the true power of discipline, the resilience to keep going no matter what. The freedom to live a life on your own terms is earned, not given. It is earned through the daily, consistent, and courageous practice of discipline. Your body is not just a vessel for your mind, it is the foundation upon which your entire life is built. Without a strong, healthy body, your mind's brilliance, your discipline's power, and your spirit's purpose will all be diminished. When your body is weak, your mind is weak. When your body is drained of energy, your will is easily broken. The Shaolin philosophy teaches that the body and mind are not separate, they are two sides of the same coin. To improve your life, you must first and foremost improve your physical self. Improving your health is a multifaceted practice that begins with physical strength. This does not mean you must become a bodybuilder or an athlete. It means you must make your body capable of withstanding the rigors of your life, engage in movement that challenges you, lift weights, perform bodyweight exercises, or practice a martial art. The goal is not to achieve a certain look, but to build a body that is resilient, powerful, and ready for action. Strength is not just about muscle, it is about the strength of your bones, the resilience of your ligaments, and the robustness of your internal systems. It is the foundation of physical independence. Equally important is energy. In the modern world, many people live in a state of perpetual fatigue, relying on stimulants to get through the day. This is not a sustainable way of living. Improving your energy means a conscious commitment to three things: proper nutrition, adequate rest, and hydration. First, nutrition. Food is not just fuel, it is information that your body uses to build and repair itself. Choose whole, unprocessed foods. Eat a variety of vegetables, fruits, and lean proteins. Reduce your intake of sugar and processed foods, which provide a temporary spike in energy followed by a crash. Your food choices directly impact your mental clarity and emotional stability. Second, rest. Sleep is not a luxury, it is a necessity. During sleep, your body repairs itself, your mind consolidates memories, and your hormonal balance is restored. Make sleep a non-negotiable priority. Create a consistent sleep schedule and stick to it, even on weekends. Third, hydration. The human body is mostly water. Dehydration can lead to fatigue, headaches, and a decline in cognitive function. Drink clean water throughout the day. These are not complex ideas, yet they are often overlooked in the pursuit of more advanced solutions. The basics are basic for a reason. They are the most effective. Beyond strength and energy, true health is about balance. This is a concept that is often forgotten in the pursuit of extremes. An unbalanced body is a vulnerable body. This balance can be found through practices like yoga, qigong, or simple stretching. These activities improve flexibility, joint mobility, and posture. Many of our modern physical ailments come from a sedentary lifestyle and poor posture. Consciously sitting up straight, stretching your neck and back, and practicing full range of motion movements for your joints will prevent countless pains and injuries in the future. Balance is also about the harmony between movement and stillness. You need both. You need the vigorous energy of a physical workout and the restorative stillness of meditation. One without the other is an incomplete path. Finally, true health is about listening to your body. We are often so disconnected from our physical selves that we ignore the warning signs. We push through pain, we ignore fatigue, and we silence our hunger and thirst cues. Your body is a finely tuned instrument. It is constantly sending you signals. Acknowledge them. Learn to differentiate between the discomfort of a challenging workout and the pain of an injury. Understand when your body needs rest versus when it needs to be pushed. This deep, intuitive connection with your physical self is the ultimate form of body improvement. It is the understanding that you are not just a mind in a body, but a complete being where the health of one is inextricably linked to the health of the other. Treat your body with the respect and care it deserves, for it is the temple where your life's work is performed. Health is the foundation of everything you wish to achieve in life. Without health, wealth becomes useless. Without health, dreams become impossible to pursue. Without health, even the smallest daily tasks can feel like a mountain. Many people do not realize this truth until it is too late. They chase money, success, recognition, but they neglect the body and mind that make all of it possible. You must improve your health every single day, because life is not about how long you live, but about the quality and energy you carry in each moment. In the Shaolin tradition, health is not simply the absence of sickness. Health is harmony between body, mind, and spirit. A strong body supports a calm mind. A calm mind allows the spirit to rest and expand. When these three are in balance, you are not only alive, you are truly living. But balance does not happen by accident. It is built through daily choices, small habits, and consistent attention. Your body is a temple, and the way you care for it determines the strength of your mind and spirit. Yet many treat their body as if it can be replaced. They fill it with unhealthy food. They deny it movement. They drown it in stress and exhaustion. They push themselves to work harder while ignoring the signals their body sends. But a wise person listens to these signals. Fatigue is the body asking for rest. Hunger is the body asking for nourishment. Stiffness is the body asking for movement. If you learn to listen, you can prevent many of the problems people suffer later in life. To improve your health daily, begin with movement. A body that moves stays alive. Stagnation leads to weakness. The Shaolin monks train every day. not for vanity, not for competition, but for vitality. Every stretch, every strike, every breath is a reminder that the body is designed to move. You do not need to train like a warrior, but you must train like someone who values life. Walk, run, stretch, lift, practice. It is not about how long, but about how consistently you honor your body with movement. Nutrition is the second pillar. Your body is built from the food you eat. If you feed it poorly, you build it poorly. If you give it strength, it will give you strength in return. Do not see food only as pleasure. See it as fuel. Ask yourself before you eat, will this give me energy or will it take it away? Will this nourish me or will it harm me? In the temple, food is simple, natural, and balanced. We eat to live, not live to eat. If you want health, you must master the art of eating with awareness. Rest is often the most neglected part of health. People think they can push through exhaustion as if their bodies are machines. But even the strongest steel will break under constant strain. Your body heals when you sleep, your mind resets, your emotions stabilize. Without rest, your decisions suffer, your energy fades, and your resilience weakens. Improving health is not only about pushing harder, it is about knowing when to step back, to breathe, to recover. Breath itself is a source of health. Many live their whole lives breathing shallowly, unaware that they are starving their bodies of oxygen and energy. In Shaolin practice, breath is life. Deep, steady breathing feeds the blood, clears the mind, and anchors the spirit. If you are stressed, breathe. If you are tired, breathe. If you are lost, breathe. Every inhale is an opportunity to renew, every exhale an opportunity to let go. Mental health is inseparable from physical health. A body filled with tension will eventually suffer illness. Worry, anger, fear. These emotions do not only live in your mind, they live in your muscles, your organs, your blood. You can eat the best food, do the best exercise, but if your mind is poisoned by stress and resentment, your health will decay. This is why daily meditation is part of improving health. It cleans the mind so the body can rest. Another truth is that health is not built overnight. You cannot undo years of neglect in a week, but you can begin today, and that decision will shape every day after. Improvement is the accumulation of small wins. Drink more water, take the stairs, eat one more vegetable, sleep one more hour, breathe a little deeper, stretch a little longer. These are not small actions. They are the building blocks of a long and vibrant life. Some will say they do not have time for health, but if you do not make time for health now, you will be forced to make time for illness later. The body you have is the only place you will live for your entire life. You cannot replace it. You cannot trade it in. You can only care for it or neglect it. The choice is yours every day. As you improve your health, you will notice a change in every area of life. Work becomes easier when you have energy. Challenges feel lighter when your body is strong. Your mind is sharper. Your mood is steadier. Your spirit feels more alive. You carry yourself differently. And people notice this is not vanity. It is the natural confidence that comes from feeling good in your own body. Discipline and health are connected. Without discipline, health fades. Without health, discipline is harder to keep. If you train both together, they will strengthen each other. When you train your body, you train your will. When you eat with awareness, you train your mind to choose wisely. When you rest, you train your spirit to trust the process of renewal. The path to improving health every day is not complicated, but it does require commitment. Move your body, eat with awareness, rest deeply, breathe fully, quiet your mind. Do these every day, and your health will not only improve, it will protect you, empower you, and allow you to live fully. Remember, health is not a gift given to you for free. It is a responsibility you must honor. The stronger your body, the calmer your mind, the freer your spirit. And when these are in balance, you are ready to face the world with strength, clarity, and peace. In a world that demands instant gratification, patience is not just a virtue, it is a superpower. The world around us moves at a frantic pace, and we are conditioned to expect immediate results for every effort. This impatience is a deep-seated weakness that leads to frustration, impulsive decisions, and the abandonment of long-term goals. The person who lacks patience is a ship without an anchor, tossed about by the slightest wave of inconvenience or delay. Improving your patience begins with the profound understanding that all things of true value take time. A great oak tree does not grow in a day. A master craftsman does not achieve their skill in a week. A successful business is not built overnight. They are all the result of thousands of small, patient, and persistent efforts compounded over time. When you find yourself getting frustrated by a slow process, remind yourself of this truth. The impatience you feel is a sign that you are focused on the immediate outcome, not the enduring process. Shift your focus from the destination to the journey. Appreciate the work itself, the act of building, the process of learning. This mindset shift is the first step in cultivating patience. Patience is also deeply connected to self-control. Impatience is an impulsive emotion. When we are impatient, we want to force a result. We want to bypass the necessary steps. This leads to cutting corners, making mistakes, and ultimately a poorer outcome. The patient person understands that the only thing they can truly control is their own response to a situation. They cannot control the traffic, the speed of a project, or the decisions of others, but they can control their reaction. When faced with a delay, the impatient person rages. The patient person takes a deep breath and asks, "What can I do with this extra time?" They see the delay not as a roadblock, but as an opportunity to reflect, to plan, to rest. This is the practice of calmness in challenges. Cultivating patience is a daily practice that can be honed in small, intentional ways. When you are standing in a long line, resist the urge to pull out your phone and distract yourself. Instead, use that time to simply be present. Observe your surroundings. Notice the people around you. Practice being still. When a project is taking longer than expected, do not rush. Take a moment to reevaluate your plan and ensure you are moving with deliberate care. When you are learning a new skill and feel frustrated with your lack of progress, do not give up. Remind yourself that every single master was once a beginner. The path to mastery is a long one, and impatience is the fastest way to get off of it. Patience also requires a sense of trust. Trust in the process. Trust in your efforts and trust in the natural rhythm of things. You plant a seed and you water it every day, but you cannot force it to grow. You must have faith that if you do your part, nature will do its part. Similarly, in your own life, you must do your work with diligence and faith, knowing that the results will come in their own time. This trust frees you from the anxiety of the outcome and allows you to pour your full energy into the effort itself. The impatient person lives in a state of constant anxiety about the future. The patient person lives with a calm confidence in the present. In the Shaolin Temple, we are taught that patience is not about waiting, it is about how you behave while you wait. Anyone can wait if they have no choice, but very few can wait without frustration, without anxiety, without losing faith in the outcome. Patience is the quiet strength that allows you to keep walking the path when results are not yet visible. Without patience, discipline breaks, focus shatters, and dreams are abandoned too soon. This is why patience is not weakness. It is one of the highest forms of strength. The modern world moves quickly. Messages are instant, information is endless, pleasures are available with a single click. People are taught to expect speed, to crave speed, to demand speed, but when everything moves fast, the ability to wait becomes rare, and what is rare becomes powerful. Success, mastery, transformation, these are not instant. A seed planted today will not bear fruit tomorrow. A mind trained for a week will not become wise in a month. A body disciplined for a season will not reach its peak in a year. The greatest things in life require time, and time demands patience. Patience is not passive. It is not sitting still and hoping something will change. It is active waiting, doing the work step by step, even when you do not yet see the result. In martial arts, the student who becomes impatient will try to skip the basics. They will demand to learn advanced techniques before they are ready. And when they face a real challenge, their foundation will crumble. But the patient student knows mastery is built one slow, deliberate movement at a time. They repeat the same kick, the same stance, the same breathing hundreds, thousands of times. Not because they enjoy repetition, but because they know repetition builds strength, and strength is what they will need when it matters most. In life, impatience makes people chase shortcuts. They see someone who has succeeded and they want the result without the process. They try quick schemes, instant fixes, easy escapes, but shortcuts often lead in circles, bringing you back to the start, only more tired and discouraged. Patience is the opposite. It takes you forward, slowly but surely. A patient person plants, waters, and tends their garden, knowing the harvest will come when the season is right. Patience also means trust. Trust in your work, trust in the process, trust in yourself. Without trust, patience turns into doubt, and doubt eats away at progress. When you cannot see change, it is easy to believe nothing is happening. But much of life grows in silence, beneath the surface. Muscles grow not during training, but during rest. Trees grow roots before they grow leaves. A river carves valleys over years, not days. The work you do today may not show tomorrow, but it is not wasted. It is building a foundation for something you cannot yet see. The impatient mind lives in the future. It wants to jump ahead, to skip the present moment. But life happens only here, now. Patience brings you back to the present. It reminds you to focus on the step you are taking, not just the destination. In the temple, when we walk the mountain path, we do not rush. We step with awareness, we feel the ground. We notice the wind, we breathe. The journey becomes the training, and the destination arrives when it is meant to. Patience protects you from anger and frustration. Many conflicts are born from impatience when people interrupt, when they demand answers, when they push others before they are ready. But a patient person listens fully. They allow space for understanding. They do not rush to judge. This makes them calmer, wiser, and more respected. If you want stronger relationships, practice patience with people. Listen not just to their words but to the silences between their words. Give them time to explain, to change, to grow. Improving patience is like strengthening a muscle. It must be trained daily. Begin with small things. Stand in a line without reaching for your phone. Let someone speak without interrupting. Work on a project without checking for progress too soon. Practice waiting without resentment. Each time you choose to be patient, you build resilience. You teach yourself that you can endure the space between effort and reward. One of the greatest lessons in patience comes from nature. You cannot force the sun to rise faster or the seasons to change sooner. You cannot make a flower bloom by pulling on its petals. Nature moves at its own pace, and yet it always arrives. When you align yourself with this natural rhythm, you stop fighting time, you work with it. You understand that everything has its season, and rushing only breaks the process. Patience is also the guardian of wisdom. A patient person observes before acting. They gather information before deciding. They watch patterns, listen to experiences, and learn from mistakes, both theirs and others. Impatience rushes into action, often blind to the consequences. Patience sees the bigger picture and moves with precision. In Shaolin training, patience is tested in stillness. We may hold a stance for minutes, muscles burning, breath steady, mind screaming to stop, but we do not move. We do not quit, because the lesson is not only in physical endurance, it is in mental endurance. Can you remain calm in discomfort? Can you hold your focus when everything in you wants to escape? That is the essence of patience. Strength under pressure, calm under strain, faith in the unseen. When you improve patience every day, you begin to feel lighter. You are no longer pulled back and forth by frustration. You no longer measure your worth only by results. You value the effort itself. Your relationships deepen because you give others the space to be themselves. Your work becomes more precise because you are not rushing to finish. Your spirit grows calmer because you are no longer fighting time. You are flowing with it. So every day, take a moment to train your patience. When something takes longer than expected, breathe. When you feel the urge to rush, slow down. When results do not appear, trust the process. Remember that a stone is not shaped in an instant. It is shaped by the patient, persistent touch of time. And so are you. The world may move fast, but you do not have to be carried away by its speed. Move at the pace of wisdom, grow at the pace of truth, and trust that what is meant for you will arrive in its own perfect time. Your skills are the tools you use to interact with the world and create value within it. Whether your craft is painting, coding, leading a team, or building a house, your ability to perform it with excellence is the direct measure of your daily commitment to improvement. A stagnant skill is a dying skill. In a world that is constantly evolving, the person who stops learning becomes obsolete. Improving your skills starts with the understanding that effort is not the same as improvement. Many people put in a lot of effort without getting better. They practice the same mistakes over and over. True skill improvement requires deliberate practice. This means you must focus your efforts on the areas where you are weakest. It means breaking down complex tasks into smaller, manageable components and mastering each one individually before putting them back together. It means seeking out feedback from a master or a peer who can see your blind spots. It means not being afraid to fail in the process of learning. The uncomfortable moments of learning are where the real growth happens. The second part of improving your skills is consistency. Just as we discussed with discipline, it is the daily, relentless practice that leads to mastery. A musician who practices for 1 hour every day will become a master. A musician who only practices when they feel inspired will remain a novice. The inspiration will come more frequently when you have committed to the consistent work. Do not wait for the muse. Show up every day and do the work. The muse respects those who show up. This daily commitment to your craft is a form of respect for yourself and for the value you wish to create in the world. Furthermore, a significant part of skill improvement is cross-training. Do not limit yourself to only the techniques you already know. The greatest innovations happen at the intersection of different fields. A martial artist can learn about human anatomy from a doctor. A programmer can learn about storytelling from a writer. A leader can learn about teamwork from an orchestra conductor. By exposing yourself to new ideas and new ways of thinking, you create new neural pathways and connections that will inevitably improve your primary skill in unexpected ways. Do not build a wall around your craft. Build bridges to other disciplines. The most important part of skill improvement is a mindset of humility. The moment you think you know everything, your learning stops. A true master is a lifelong student. They understand that there is always more to learn, more to perfect, and more to refine. They are not defined by their current level of skill, but by their commitment to the path of mastery. They take pride in their work, but they do not confuse their current abilities with their ultimate potential. They are constantly seeking to be a little better today than they were yesterday. This continuous, humble pursuit of excellence is what separates the masters from the merely competent. Finally, improving your skills is about purpose. Why are you doing this? What is the meaning behind the hours of practice? When your skill is connected to a larger purpose, whether it is to provide for your family, to serve your community, or to create something of beauty, your motivation becomes unshakable. The difficult days, the failures, the frustrations, they all become a part of a meaningful journey. Without a deeper purpose, skill is just a technique. With a purpose, skill becomes a way of life. Dedicate yourself daily to not just improving what you can do, but to understanding why you are doing it. This is the path to true mastery. In life, you are given many things you cannot control: where you were born, who raised you, the circumstances you began with. But there is something you can always control, something you can always improve, something no one can take from you: your skills. Skills are the tools that allow you to build the life you want. They are the bridge between where you are and where you wish to be. Without skills, even the strongest desire remains a dream. With skills, even the most difficult dream becomes possible. A skill is not simply knowledge. Knowledge can be read in a book, copied from another, stored in your mind. A skill is knowledge in action. It is the ability to perform, to create, to solve, to adapt. It is alive. And like all living things, it must be nurtured, trained, sharpened every day. You cannot plant a tree and walk away, expecting it to grow strong on its own. You must water it, protect it, give it light. Your skills are no different. In the Shaolin Temple, every movement we make, every form we practice, every technique we repeat, these are skills. They are refined over years, sometimes decades. The punch you see today may look the same as the punch from last year, but it is not the same. It has been corrected, strengthened, made sharper, made faster. It has been tested in training, tested in combat, tested in silence. This is what it means to improve your skills daily, small, almost invisible adjustments that over time create mastery. Many people want to improve their life without improving their skills. They want a better job but do not learn more about their craft. They want better health but do not learn how to move, eat and rest properly. They want stronger relationships but do not learn how to communicate, listen and understand. Skills are the foundation of progress. Without them you stand still. Improving your skills requires humility. You must be willing to admit you are not yet as good as you could be. You must be open to correction even when it hurts your pride. In the temple, the master will correct the same mistake 100 times if necessary, and the student must accept it 100 times without frustration. Pride blocks growth, but humility opens the path. The moment you believe you have arrived is the moment your growth begins to decay. It also requires consistency. Practicing once a week will not lead to mastery. You must return to your skill every day, even when you are tired, even when you do not feel inspired. Skill building is like sharpening a blade. If you stop, the edge grows dull. A master swordsman does not sharpen his blade only when he needs it. He sharpens it every day, so it is ready at any moment. In life, your skills are your weapons and your tools. Keep them sharp. There is also the matter of depth. Modern life often encourages people to collect many skills at a shallow level. They know a little about everything, but not enough to be excellent at anything. True mastery comes from going deep, choosing a skill and diving into it until you understand not just its surface, but its essence. A Shaolin monk may learn hundreds of forms, but he first masters one. That one becomes the root from which the others grow. When you improve a skill daily, the process teaches you more than just the skill itself. It teaches you patience, discipline, focus, and resilience. For example, if you are learning a language, you will face the frustration of forgetting words, the challenge of understanding new grammar, the embarrassment of making mistakes. These moments are not obstacles, they are training for the mind. The skill grows, and so do you. You must also learn to test your skills in real situations. In the temple, we do not practice forms for beauty alone. They are tested in sparring, in endurance training, in the unpredictability of nature. If a skill is never tested, it remains unproven. If you are learning to speak, speak to people. If you are learning to lead, take responsibility for a team. If you are learning to heal, help someone in need. Practice without application is like a sword kept in its sheath. It may look polished, but you will never know if it can cut. Another important truth is that skills are not only technical, they can also be human. The ability to listen is a skill. The ability to remain calm in conflict is a skill. The ability to inspire others, to negotiate, to adapt, these are all skills that require the same daily practice as physical techniques. They are often the difference between someone who is merely competent and someone who is truly exceptional. To improve your skills every day, you must have a plan. Random practice produces random results. Decide what skill you are building. Break it into smaller parts. Focus on one part at a time until it becomes strong, then connect it to the others. This is how a martial artist learns a complex form, not all at once, but piece by piece, joined together over time. Do not be afraid to learn from those ahead of you. In Shaolin tradition, the student learns from the master, but also from other students. A beginner may see something you have missed, a peer may have a different approach, a master may show you a deeper layer. When you surround yourself with those who are also improving their skills, your own growth accelerates. And remember, skills are not fixed. You are not born skilled. You become skilled through training. Anyone who appears naturally talented has simply practiced so much that the skill has become part of them. This means you are never too old to learn, never too late to improve. The mind and body can be trained at any stage of life if the will is there. Improving your skills daily is also an act of self-respect. When you train, you are telling yourself, I am worth investing in. My growth matters. My future matters. It builds confidence, not the fragile kind that depends on the opinions of others, but the deep, quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are prepared. If you neglect your skills, you risk becoming stagnant. The world changes, challenges evolve, and if you do not grow with them, you will be left behind. But if you sharpen your skills daily, you remain adaptable. You are like bamboo, strong yet flexible. You can face change without fear because you have prepared yourself for it. So, choose your skills wisely. Devote yourself to them fully. Practice them daily. Test them in real life. Learn from others. And never stop refining. Because one day, when life presents you with a challenge, you will discover that your preparation has made you ready. The victory will not be an accident. It will be the natural result of the work you did every single day.